Hey everyone, it has been a while since I've done a video. I apologize. I hope everyone's doing well. Happy fall. I am just doing some videos before I run off to kind of gallivant around the world a little bit, heading to Virginia to go see a best friend that I'm excited to reconnect with, she and her family. So I hope you're doing well. There's been a lot happening, a lot not happening, but I just thought I'd offer a little bit of perspective and a couple tips. So I've been in and out of meetings with just in Lansing, conversations, legislators, touching base, different leaders and influencers. And part of the question I'm asking is, what's our way forward? I applaud, congratulations on hopefully a successful event on Mackinac Island. I did not go this year, but I hope everyone that went, you enjoyed it and found it helpful and encouraging. I've heard some positive feedback from that. And for those that don't know, Mackinac Island is happens every other year. And it's something the Republican Party puts on, really is like a place for us to gather and campaigns to launch and conferences to happen. And so this one just took place. And for those that were able to attend and did attend, I hope it went well. So as far as what's going on in the state politically, the legislators are in Lansing, and you're going to start to hear more campaign news, political news. You've got people looking at the Supreme Court race, talking about the U.S. Senate race. So keep your ear to the ground. One of our friends in our Americans Unite for Michigan group has listed out the elections that are coming up in November. So make sure that you are aware. If you live in Michigan, michigan.gov/vote is where you can go to get your sample ballot. And if you live outside of Michigan and you're like, oh, I want that information, just go to your Secretary of State's website, or you could even contact your local clerk and say, hey, where can I get a sample ballot so that I know what's on my ballot for this fall? It is important that we keep track of the elections coming up and that we let others know. So don't assume that the people in your church or your homeschool community or your coffee buddies that they know it's an election. So make sure that you are taking that information and you're putting it in people's hands. This year, there won't be a ton of, every election matters, right? But this year, there's not going to be a ton of huge elections. And what I mean by that is in 2024 is when we're going to have like the battle for the House majority and for the state. And then you've got like your 2024 presidential election, right? So there's all those different pieces. But there will be, and again, every election matters. So there will be some definitely for this year, but just as far as statewide offices, it's going to mostly be, that'll be like in 2024. So your legislators are in Lansing. Keep an eye on the elections for November. You're going to hear more campaign news about people running for U.S. Senate, Supreme Court, people starting to file for, House races. And so that's good. That's just a part of the process. Don't be thrown by that. And then you also there's legislators that are working on policy. And just a reminder, please remind your grassroots that the party that is in majority is the one that drives the conversation overall and drives the agenda. So anytime you see the Republicans, AKA those that are in the minority, speaking up and talking about a topic, rally around them. While they may not be able to get a piece of legislation passed as easily as they could if they were in the majority, they are contributing to the conversation. And the conversation matters. So if you're a grassroots activist and you're like, I just want them to do something, I want them to pass bills. Well, we all want good policy, right? But we also have to be realistic that the current makeup of the House and the Senate in Lansing, I don't know about other states, but in Lansing, it's run by progressives. It's run by the Democrats. So hopefully some good policies that Republicans and Democrats can agree on, right, will make their way through. Hopefully some bad policies will be stopped. And that's where Republicans need you to rally around the Democrats and the Republican legislators to say, even if we don't share the party, please understand my heart, and this is bad policy. So there is still value in you speaking up, even if you have a Democrat legislator. But also, we need to applaud when the Republicans speak up and advocate for different ideas. And you may say, yeah, but Amy, what does that matter? So you and I have to encourage our fellow conservatives. We have got to stop playing checkers. We have to start playing chess. And what I mean by that is we have to have a 40,000-foot view, and we have to look farther down the road than just this moment. So in this moment, we want policy to change. But how many of you know changes sometimes take time, and changes sometimes start with a conversation? When you get a legislator, like a new one that I've been getting to know, Rep. Luke Meerman, who's awesome, has an amazing heart, he's passionate about a certain topic. So when he starts to talk about that more, put that information out there more, guess what happens? More and more people can talk about it, can say, oh, did you hear what Rep. Meerman's talking about? Or, oh, did you hear what Rep. Thompson's talking about? Or, oh, did you hear Rep. Johnson or Senator Tice, right? So as they talk about it, it can create conversation, and it can cause us to refine our perspective on it. It can cause us to create opportunities for even legislators to say, oh, I'd never thought of it from that way. Or, oh, I didn't even know that was a deal. Or, oh, wow, that matters. And as they talk about it more, citizens start to see, oh, wow, our legislators are talking about this. They're not ignoring the issue. They're not, yes, I understand as a voting citizen, they may not be able to radically, create a law in this moment, but they're putting the topic out there, and they're letting us know where they stand on it. And they're challenging media and fellow lawmakers to examine it. That's good. So if you're sitting there saying, I want to do something to help, take 5 minutes and go find your state house, state senate members on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. Follow the House Republicans on YouTube. Follow the House Dems on YouTube, right? Like follow these different leaders and platforms. And ask, where appropriate, ask your local mayor to put you on the press release list. Ask, your state senator, even if they're a Democrat, can I get on your email list, right? Stay informed about what they're talking about. And when you see them talking about it, sing their praises, chime in. I got on, someone had shared with me a press conference that was going on this morning, and I actually shared it in a group, and it was on some international threats. And I dropped a comment in the YouTube feed saying, thanks for live streaming this. Because the awesome leaders on the inside, Republicans that are working to bring change, they need to hear feedback from us. They need to hear when we appreciate something. Thank you for live streaming. Thank you for allowing us to watch the press conference. Thank you for putting this information out there, right? So they need to hear positive affirmation from us, and they need our feedback to know, I've been looking for you on this channel, and I have friends that are looking for you on this platform, and we can't find you. If they know that there is a need, it's highly possible that they will rally around that and create information for that space. So track with the press conferences, you can get on websites and sign up for notices on committees, follow different organizations like Salt and Light Global, Right to Life in Michigan, Citizens for Traditional Values, Great Lakes Education Project, different amazing groups who are monitoring policy that matters. I'll actually be in Lansing next week for Homeschool Day at the Dome, and you all are invited. Homeschool families, send word to your homeschool families. I am a homeschool alum myself, and they were so kind and asked me to speak. And so I was working to get the information into legislators' hands, but really, and I just did a couple of videos, and I'm going to make sure they're published and on YouTube that people can watch. But basically sounding the alarm for homeschoolers is that we've been very fortunate to have the freedoms that we have over the last few years in the state. But the way the progressives are aggressively going after freedom and moving their agendas, you can highly expect them to come after homeschool freedoms. We have got to get more homeschoolers showing up into the conversation with smiles, not with anger, but with coming alongside legislators to say, hi, I'm here. I've appreciated the freedoms I've had, and I'd like to do that, like to keep them longer. And how can I get to know you? How can you get to know me? How can we work together? So we need to get more homeschoolers that aren't afraid, but that are eager to step up and say, hey, I want to be a part of the conversation. When I was a child, I learned from my mom that homeschool freedoms were not free, that we need to know the leaders that represent us, because if there's ever a need, we need those leaders to be the ones to advocate for us. So if you're in the area or you'd like to come make a day of it, please come to Lansing. There's also opportunities to go into the Supreme Court. You can see the state capitol. You can meet your legislators. You can get to see Lansing. It's an amazing. Some people don't like politics, but let me tell you, I love it. It's where God's called me, and it's just an amazing marketplace. So have hope wherever you're at in the corner of Michigan. Please do encourage, if you're a clergy, if you're a leader, if you have influence, please encourage people to start paying attention to your local townships and to your local county commission meetings. I was working with our own county commission here, and they need conservatives that are willing to serve on boards. So if you are one of those, go to your local county commission website, Roscommon or Wayne County, and just poke around and see where are boards, where could I possibly serve my time? Or if you are in a position you can't, but you want to help recruit people to do it, and it's a great stepping stone. If you're one of those people that's like, I might want to run for office someday, get your toe in this mix. Be someone that's willing to say, I'll help, because it is a need. So if you'll get your people paying attention to Lansing, keep praying for our legislators. Come today at the Dome next week. And as you see more and more leaders that are communicating, make sure and thank them. Rep Bill G. Schuette is on Twitter. He's so good about doing videos from the House floor. So follow him. As you see, different posts from Rep Thompson or a number of legislators who are good men and women, they would welcome your prayers and your support. And as you see comments that are kind of nasty, make sure you're adding some love in there as well for them. So thanks for being here. Share this video. Do not give up hope, and please stay involved. The best is yet to come.